Hello and welcome to STEM with Mr. N, where I perform different demonstrations and explain the science behind what we're seeing. This week's video is in connection with the Sustainables Academy as I show you how to make a model river. Let's check it out. The Sustainables Academy is a not-for-profit initiative committed to advancing education, community engagement and academic collaboration for the betterment of our biosphere and climate. Their mission is to empower educators, learners and change makers with accessible, high-quality resources that inspire sustainability, the circular economy and climate stewardship in everyday life. Visit thesustainablesacademy.com to access their suite of free curriculum-mapped resources. Rivers are powerful forces in nature. They carve out valleys, move soil, and shape the land over time. Understanding rivers is important not just for science, but also for sustainability. Human activities like construction, farming, and deforestation can damage rivers and cause problems like erosion, pollution, and flooding. By learning how rivers naturally behave, we can make better choices to protect water systems and use land in ways that are safe and sustainable for people and the environment. Hydrologists are scientists who study rivers, lakes, and how water moves through the environment. To help them understand water flow, they use different kinds of models. Some of these models are built on computers, while others are physical models that you can touch and see. Both types of models are useful tools for learning more about how rivers work. Today, I'm going to demonstrate a couple of different physical river models. For this, you will need 2 foil baking trays, sand, soil, gravel or similar to be your land, water with optional blue food colouring, a nail, knife or similar, and a measuring jug or bottle, and some kitchen foil. First, I'm going to pour sand and gravel into the tray so it gives the base a good covering and provides some height for my land. Then I'm going to use my screw to create a few holes at one end of my foil tray. I'm going to make my sand and gravel wet and then use a spoon to carve out a path for my river to flow through this ground. Rivers flow from uphill to downhill, so if I was to add water at this stage, it will not flow like a river since there is no angle to give it a downwards flow. So I'm going to lift my tray and put the end with the holes in it inside my second foil tray and tilt the other end up at an angle. Now that my model is complete, I'm going to start pouring water down the river channel I created and watch what happens. You'll notice the water is flowing down the river channel, however it is also picking up pieces of gravel and sand along the way, and as more water flows down, the land around the river is collapsing into it. When water flows through a river, it picks up small pieces of soil and rock. This is called erosion. The water carries this sediment and drops it somewhere else. This is called deposition. Over time, these processes can change the shape of the land and create valleys, riverbanks, or even new lakes. In my model, you can see this resulted in the land around flooding as the river got blocked by the natural erosion. You can see how small changes to the land or water path make a big difference. As I explored in a previous video looking at soil erosion, plants and trees can help prevent erosion by holding the ground together. Humans can use plants and trees as a natural soft engineering solution to protect river channels. I'm now going to adapt my model by helping to secure the flow of the river with minimal erosion of the land. To do this, I'm again going to use my spoon to carve a path for my river through my land. Into this channel, I'm going to put kitchen foil to keep the river separated from the land around it. Now that's set up, I'm going to pour my water down this channel and watch what happens. This time, the water flowed down the river channel and did not have a negative impact on the land around it. This is an example of a hard engineering solution where humans use artificial materials such as concrete structures to reinforce riverbanks and control water flow. This connects directly to sustainability. When people build roads, farms, or buildings near rivers without thinking carefully, they can damage the land and water system. Learning how rivers behave helps us plan smarter and avoid harming natural ecosystems and protect clean water for people and animals. That's why understanding rivers is a key part of creating a more sustainable future. Well, that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay up to date on all future content. And remember to check out the Sustainables Academy at thesustainablesacademy.com to access free sustainability and circular economy resources. As always, I would like to take this opportunity to answer any science questions you have about any science topics at all. So feel free to email me at stemwithmrn@outlook.com and I'll get back to you with answers to your questions. You can subscribe to the channel by pushing the button here, and I've added links here to the other STEM demo and explanation videos I do, here to my series of STEM career interviews, and here to my series of science fiction to science fact. This has been STEM with Mr. N, showing you a DIY river model.